Today I'm going to be showing you how to get every talisman in the game, every legendary, unique, great, +2. If there is a talisman and there's like a normal talisman and a +1 and a +2, I'm only going to be including the +2 variant in this list. If there's a +2 and there's a an enormously one, like what would be a +3, or if a +2 and a +1 can be equipped at the same time and they stack, then both will be included. But if they can't stack and there's one that is better than the other and it's the same exact one but it's just slightly better, I'll only be including the best talismans. This is all the best talismans and all the unique talismans. Also, in the description, you will have the ability to go and search through an alphabetized list of all the talisman and select the talisman that you want. Every talisman will have the bonus that you would receive for equipping the talisman next to the talisman, as well as the timestamp, so you can go directly to how to get that talisman. And now we'll jump into how to get the first talisman. Our first talisman is the Arrow Reach Talisman, which can be got by starting at the gate front grace. This talisman increases the bow's effective range, so if you're not playing mage, or even when you are playing mage, occasionally a great bow taking out a target at a very long range, you won't have any enemies aggroed on you anyway. So what you can do is just swap this talisman on and have a better vantage point for being able to take them out. And right in this chest right here, you can collect the talisman. Next up, we have the Arrow Sting Talisman, which raises the attack power of arrows and bolts. So you can actually use that first talisman to help you clear out all the guards on the stairways to get this. But what you're going to do is you're going to take the Impassable Great Bridge checkpoint, and right next to it is this tower. There are two ladders, as you can see, that second ladder right there. Just come over here, come in the back right corner, collect the talisman. Our next charm, the Arsenal Charm +1, raises equipment load by 17%. Now this charm is located in the Atlas Tunnel, which can be located or accessed from above. It cannot be accessed from below. If you don't have many checkpoints, come from the top, make your way down to the Atlas Tunnel. Once inside the Atlas Tunnel, a couple seconds from the Grace, you'll reach this room. You see this tree branch. You'll make a right. There is a rock creature. You see that dude shooting it with the bow? Well, that's where those charms with the bow came in handy. If you're not magic and you don't already have a spell like the Great Magic Arrow ×5, take out the rock creature because it's going to be highly annoying. I would highly recommend taking it out from here. You're going to come down. I forgot to dispense with the ones over here. Going to make your way onto this tree branch. Now this tree can be a little bit tricky. I actually died climbing it before because it's a little sticky, but don't jump because that was my mistake. Just slowly force your analog up until you get to the point of max height. Jump over, collect the talisman. Our next talisman, the Assassin's Cerulean Dagger, restores FP on critical hits. Now this can be located in the Black Knife Catacombs by fighting the Black Assassin, which is an optional boss. It's a hidden boss as well. So when you do the standard path and you take one of those things up here, at the end, you're not going to see this, but you'll see a wall. Melee the wall, fight the boss, kill the boss, and get the talisman. Next up, we have the Assassin's Crimson Dagger, which critical hits restore HP. You get a nice chunk of health restored. I think it's based off how much your max health is, but you can get like 150 to 200 plus health per critical hit. So this is located in the Death Touched Catacombs. Just note it is not regular hits. This is on critical hits. You can make your way up from anywhere over here. You have to make your way up this mountainside into the Death Touched Catacombs and beat the boss. Defeating the boss will reward you the Assassin's Crimson Dagger. Next up, we have the Axe Talisman, which enhances charge attacks. Now, this one's not as good. It does 10% increased damage to charge attacks, but a charge attack is this. It's actually holding down your button. So, it does not work with skills, just FYI. It's just for your charge attacks. But if you want to come get it, just come to the Mistwood Ruins, and I recommend going at night if you're a low level, because there's a big bear there, but it'll be sleeping at night. Make your way down the staircase there's a little staircase in the ruins like there always is. And inside is the chest with the talisman. Our next talisman, the Blessed Dew Talisman, gradually restores HP. It restores 2 HP per second. So this is located from the Divine Bridge checkpoint, which you can get from running around the capital and finding an area with 2 flame dudes that have the things on their arms, and they'll eat you and spit flames and all that good stuff. Or at any point in the game, you can take the very easy path and come to the Tower of Return. Climb the top of the Tower of Return, open the chest, and it will teleport you to the Divine Bridge. Now, there's a big giant there that you probably are not ready to kill unless you're already OP. And if you can't kill the giant, no problem. It is one of the hardest giants, highest health pool, hardest hitting giants in the game. So it's actually not one to be effed with unless you are, 100 plus level at least. Anyway, just grab the grace, which will reset the trap. Run past the giant, go to the right, and there's a chest. Inside the chest is the Blessed Dew Talisman. Next up, we have the Blue Dancer Charm, which increases all damage up to 15% for incredibly lightweight loads. Just keep in mind, anything you equip adds weight. Once you get to a certain weight, you're not even receiving any attack power bonus. It works for all sources, bows, daggers, all that good stuff. So you have to access the High Road Cave, which you can get to by going just north of the Murkwater Catacombs on the higher side and dropping down on this mountain ridge. I forget exactly where you drop down. Now, the High Road Cave can be pretty tricky, so right under here in the description, I will link a guide on how to beat the High Road Cave, defeat the boss, and get the charm. Next up, we have the Boltdrake Talisman. This will raise your poise. It is located in the Dragon Barrow Cave. Now, this cave has a huge bear in it. What you can do is just slowly creep past the bear, wait for it to go one way, go the other way if you're not at the point where you can kill it. You need to go past where the bear spawns in and then go to the back of the cave on the left side in order to get this talisman. Next up, we have the Carian Filigreed Crest. This lowers FP consumed by skills by 25%. It is acquired by doing Blaidd's quest line. I do not know how to pronounce that. So you need to make your way to Volcano Manor, then talk to the old woman, then go down the hallway, talk to Blaidd. He is the knight in the other room. Once you've done that, he'll tell you that you need to go kill the Blood Knight. The Blood Knight is located right here. Once you have killed the Blood Knight, then you can return to the War Council and they will stock the item. It can also be purchased at the Twin Maiden Husks by offering them a bell bearing once he dies. In any case, I'll also put up a guide, which I'll have up in the very near future. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to start New Game 4 and also do a video for the Volcano quest line, everything included. But that is how you get the Carian Filigreed quest. Next up, we have the Cerulean Amber Medallion 2, which boosts maximum FP. This boosts it by 6.5%. Now, the only way this can be acquired is by doing Ranni's quest line. It's at the end of Ranni's quest line. You'll come over here. You'll exit at the end after defeating the legendary creature. You'll exit at the Moonlight Altar. I'll list a link for Ranni's guide right below here in case you need it. But we're going to make our way over to the Lunar Estate runes. You'll see this stone goblin. You will need to use one stone key. Come down, grab the talisman. Next up, we have the Cerulean Seed Talisman, which boosts FP restoration from the Flask of the Cerulean Tears. Now, this can be located by going to the Carian Study Hall, which you'll access through Ranni's quest, or you could just take the Study Hall entrance right here in Lorania. You'll have to make your way up several ladders, elevators, till you get to the very top of the rafters, and right over here, you'll be able to collect the talisman. Next up, we have the Clarifying Horn Charm +1, which boosts your focus. We're going to be starting from the Ancestral Woods. If you don't know how to get here, then I'll link Ranni's quest to the side of here. So you can just click Ranni's quest and see how to get here. Next up, we have the Boltdrake Talisman +2. This vastly boosts lightning damage negation. We're going to be taking the Dragon Temple rooftop. You're going to make your way to where the dragon is or was. Once you've dealt with that, you'll come down here. At this point, there's a knight and a bird. Take them out. Once you've dealt with the knight and the bird, make your way to the top of the ladder, peek out, take out the two other knights. FYI, in that chest over there, there is one of the best shields in the game, the Dragon Great Shield. Next up, you'll have a Crucible Knight and 3 Beastmen. You can either run past them to where I show you next, or take them out. Our next objective is to climb this ladder at the end. And right behind, or to the right of this bird, is your talisman. Next up, we have the Claw Talisman, which gives us 15% bonus damage to jump attacks. It does not work with bow jump attacks. We're going to be starting off at the Rampart Tower. Now, I know this one isn't the best, but for all you completionists out there and anybody huge fan of jump attacks, I'm showing you how to get it. Max jump right there. Now there'll be a couple enemies, going to clear them out. Once you've dispersed the enemies, you can climb the ladder, or if you're already OP enough where you can climb the ladder and not fall from damage, then you can just skip them. And at the top, right by the birds, you can find it. Next up, we have the Crepus Vial, which eliminates all sound made by the wearer during movement. This can be got by doing the Volcano Manor quest. You start the quest by talking to the lady, get some assassinations. During your second assassination, you will acquire this talisman. Next up, we have the Crimson Amber Medallion +2, which gives you roughly 8% additional health. This can be located after turning the capital to Ash. You'll have the Lindell capital of Ash checkpoint. You're going to go basically roughly straight forward. Come around to this side of the well. Now this drop can be a little bit tricky. I land right on the beam. And there you go. That'll give you roughly 8% additional health. Next up, we have the Crucible Knot Talisman, which reduces damage and impact of headshots. Now, I'm not sure if that's on all melee hits or what. I haven't really tested this too much, but it can be located in the village of the Abernox. We're going to take not the first bridge, but the second bridge. And I already killed him, but over here will be a boss called the Omni Killer. Kill him, get the talisman. Next up, we have the Curved Sword Talisman, which gives you plus 20% guard counter damage. So right by all the fire barrels, the dudes that throw the grenades that blow up the barrels, if you go all the way up, there's a door. And you open the door, and there is a very hard knight at that point in the game, unless you're on like New Game Plus something. Kill the knight, and in that room is the talisman. Next up, we have the Dragoncrest Shield Talisman +2, which vastly boosts your physical damage negation. This is located in between the Dragon Temple lift and the Dragon Temple rooftop. So you probably have already been down this path, and it's very hard to miss if this is your first time proceeding through the area. But what you probably did miss is a very well hidden talisman. Oh, look at that. Just a simple jump will get you there. It is on this dead body. Next up, we have the Faithful Canvas Talisman, which raises the potency of incantations. It's worth noting that it raises the damage of incantations by 3.75%. This is located in the Celia Crystal Tunnel, right across from where the boss door is. If you come over here, there are 2 guards, dead body, get the talisman. Next up, we have the Fire Scorpion Charm. This raises fire attack power, but lowers damage negation. So you're going to make your way to Fort Blaidd, or however you pronounce that. This is in the far west of Mount Gilmore. You're going to come into the castle, make your way to the top, and you'll see that chest. Look behind it. There's nothing in that chest, but our thief did not get away. We can go get the item. It's over here. He died, sadly, but we can go get the charm. Next up, we have the Flamedrake Talisman +2. This version vastly boosts fire damage negation by over 20%. It can be gotten in the Dragon Burrow Cave by defeating the boss. Next up, we have the Crucible Scale Talisman. This reduces damage taken from critical hits. We're going to be taking the Underground Roadside Grace for the sewers. If you don't know how to get here, I have a guide up for how to find Mog the Omen, who is the boss of this section. We'll show you how to unlock everything. Also, I have how to use the sewer key, and I think another thing for the sewers as well. What we're going to do is just take this dude out right here because he's the only one that might get in the way of doing this. So you're going to come on this pipe and then you'll drop down to this pipe. Now, for this jump, you're going to need high endurance, or you're going to need to put on like the fall resistance talisman, or use an item. But the labyrinth is right here. Now, let me just jump past this dude. Also, Mog's the Shackle, or Mog Shackle, is right there too. So apparently when you beat the catacombs, it just turns into a shortcut back to the sewers. So I'll tell you exactly how to get this. From the Longtail Catacomb site of grace, head into the catacombs until you find a room with a flame-blowing imp column. This cannot be missed. You're going to hit the column so it lowers. Then you will hit it again and jump on top and ride it up to a room with a giant enemy. The talisman is on a corpse behind that enemy. Next up we have the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, which successive attacks restore HP. To get this, you need to go to the Spirit Caller's Cave and defeat the boss. You actually have to fight back-to-back Godskin Apostle and then fight the Godskin Noble. So there's a couple of notes for this. It only works on melee. The heal is about 5%. The trigger can happen anywhere between 3 to 7 hits. It's kind of like rolling the dice. The player does not need to hit the same target for it to trigger, but they do need to hit a target at least once every 10 seconds in order to continue with the potential to get the heal. Next up, we have one of the best talismans in the game, the Great Jar's Arsenal. This increases your max equipment load by 19%. Before level 200, this is pretty ideal for one of your fort to carry a lot of gear. So in order to get here, it's a little bit of a trip. You gotta go to the Deep Sapphire Well. Once you're in the Sapphire River well depths, you are going to come up this way, come this way, come all the way up, and you'll reach below the well. In order to access below the well, you will need 2 stone keys. This will take you to the Deep Sapphire Well checkpoint. All you gotta do is run all the way up. There'll be 2 great archers. Once you get to the end, you'll have to initiate 3 duels. You beat the 3 duels, and you get the reward, the Great Jar's Arsenal. Next up, we have the Green Turtle Talisman, which raises stamina recovery rate. It actually raises it at 8 points per second, which comes out to 17.7%. You're going to make your way over to the Summon Water Village and come to my mark right here. Use the stone key right there, go down, it's just a bunch of turtles in there, open the door, and collect the talisman. Next up, we have the Haligdrake Talisman +2, which vastly negates holy damage. We're going to be starting off at Mogwin Palace. For anyone who doesn't already know, the portal to enter this is right behind the Third Church of America. Just look along this wall right where my cursor is. So I'm going to show you the easy route to get to it from the Palace Approach Ledge Road. Now, easy is relative. This is a endgame section as far as how much damage the enemies do. Got multiple birds in here. Those dudes, there's like 100 of those dudes. You got an NPC that multiple times respawns. Blaidd dogs, among other things. By the way, there's an ancient cooking book right there north. I'm just gonna straight run past this bird. Fuck this bird. You can actually wait it out. I forgot exactly where it was, and I think I already picked it up in this playthrough. But now I know exactly where it is. So it is right in front of this grave right here. This is the marker you want to hit. Next up, we have the Hammer Talisman, which enhances stamina reducing attacks against blockers. So if you attack somebody and they block, it doesn't cost as much stamina as it normally would. You can just swing away. This is acquired by going to the Stormhill Shack. You'll go northeast to this point. You'll be invaded by an NPC. Kill the NPC, get the talisman. Our next charm, the Immunizing Horn Charm +1, greatly raises immunity. This can be acquired by going to the Lake of Rot and looking directly out from the grace and slightly to your left. There'll be a dude walking around the rotted river. Just kill him and get the charm. For everybody who has no idea how to get here, I'll link Ranni's quest line next to this charm in the description. Our next talisman may be exploitable, but at the moment I'm not sure how. We have the Kindred of Rot's Exultation, which increases attack power by 20% for 20 seconds when a player or enemy nearby is inflicted with Scarlet Rot. This can be got by beating the boss at Sweetwater Cave. If you're unfamiliar with how to get here, you need to go up Mount Gray or whatever. You need to go up past the merchant, take the bridge across, come up, come down, and go around. That's basically the only way. And kill the boss over there, get the talisman. Our next talisman, the Lightning Scorpion Charm, raises lightning attack but lowers damage negation. This is located in the Woodhain Catacombs. While you're proceeding through it, there is a stone key door. Use the stone key and collect the talisman. Our next talisman, the Longtail Cat Talisman, renders the wearer immune to fall damage. This can be located by starting off at the Schoolhouse Classroom Grace. Once you've killed the thing guarding this area, by the way, if you get imprisoned by it, it's also the shortcut to enter Volcano Manor. Now, I already picked up basically everything over... Oh, I didn't actually pick this one up. So, yep, there it is. There is the Longtail Cat Talisman. Next up, we have a very interesting talisman, Lord of Blood's Exultation. Blood loss in the vicinity increases attack power. It increases attack power by 20% when a nearby player or enemy is inflicted with blood loss. A lot of people are liking this for PvP because blood loss activations that do not deal damage will still increase your attack power. This is located in the Longtail Catacombs in the capital, in the sewers. So I'm going to show you a clip from a video I recently did showing how to get to the Longtail Capitals. If you don't know how to get to the sewer, I have other videos like how to find Mog, the Omen, how to solve the sewers, what to do with the sewer key, stuff like that. Just search Sewers Elden Ring on my channel, and you'll find a couple of videos, something that will show you exactly how to get into the sewers, and that combined with this clip will take you there. And I'm going to be showing you how to unlock the Longtail Catacombs. I'll link in the description a easy way to solve the Longtail Catacombs. Also, how to solve the sewers. We're going to use the first checkpoint of where we've unlocked this gate. You can drop down there, come over here. Now, depending on your endurance level, you may need to use something that allows you to survive this fall. I have like 60 in endurance. As you can see, I still take damage. Now, if you're careful, you can avoid fighting the one on the left and only fight the one on the right. Now, Mog's Shackle is right at the end over here. And the access to the labyrinth is right here. Next up, we have the Mottled Necklace+1, which greatly raises robustness, immunity, and focus. We're going to be starting off at the Ancestral Woods Grace. And there it is. Next up, we have the Moon of Noxtella, which increases memory slots by 2. This can only be accessed during Ranni's quest, and I will link how to complete that quest. So we have Noxtella Eternal City. There's a bunch of ant riders, slugs over here. Before you actually get to the waterfall basin, there's a way to go up in the city, and you climb a bunch of stairs. There's a bunch of buildings. In one of the buildings near the end, before you hit a dead end, and you got like 3 bosses, 2 NPCs, and another harder enemy over there, which is the end. There's nowhere to go further than that. If you haven't got the Moon of Noxtella by that point, just work your way back and search every building. It's somewhere near the end in one of the buildings. Next up, we have the Primal Glintsteel Blaidd. Spells consume less FP, but maximum HP is reduced. Reduces spell cost by about 25% and health by about 15%. Now this one's a little bit of a puzzle. This is located at Stargazer's Rune. You can easily get here from Castle Sol. Take this bridge right over. You're going to find the jellyfish. What you're going to want to do is break out your jellyfish ash from the beginning of the game. This will give you access to this tunnel and allow you to collect the talisman. Next up, we have the Pearldrake Talisman +2, which vastly boosts non-physical damage negation. This can be located in the Haligdrake town. So, if you're not familiar with this area, I know a lot of you are, because this has an insane farm where on New Game Plus, you could rack up 100,000 points roughly every minute in 15 seconds to a minute and 20 seconds if you're fast. If you're not familiar with the farm, I have a video up showing you how you can do it. Just search the channel for XP Farm, or actually it's the one linked in most of my descriptions, but anyway, right here is the talisman. Next up, we have the Prince of Death's Postule, which raises vitality. This can be located by taking the lift side chamber in Stormville Castle. You're going to make your way out this way, make a right, come over here, drop down. You might need to take something to survive that fall. Now we're going to make our way through the crypt. Now I forget if I beat this boss already this time. I think I did. Yeah, so it is located somewhere near the skull. You have to defeat a worm boss, but after you defeat him, it's somewhere in this boss room. Next up, we have 3 talismans that I'm going to group together because they are all linked to Millicent's questline, and that's the only way you can acquire them. I have a video that I'll link on how to do Millicent's questline. It's a very concise video, and it also shows you how you can get all the rewards in one playthrough instead of 2. So we have Millicent's Prosthesis, which is boost dexterity by 5, raises attack power with successive attacks. Ryan Wing Sword Insignia greatly raises attack power with successive attacks. And our last one is the Phlox Canvas Talisman, greatly raises potency of incantations. Next up, we have the Radagon Icon, which shortens spellcasting time. It's worth noting this does not seem to affect the casting time of dragon-related incantations. We're going to be using the Debate Parlor Grace. Oh, I didn't get this one on this playthrough. There it is. Next up we have Radagon Source Heal, which greatly raises attributes but also increases damage taken. This gives you plus 5 vigor, plus 5 endurance, plus 5 strength, plus 5 dexterity, but increases damage taken by 15%. This is located in Fort Fayoth. Now, I just did a video dedicated to these because I forgot to do one early, and after doing the testing just now, these are absolute trash endgame runes, or a talisman. So all the all the Source Seals and all the Scar Seals, whether you're a mage or whether you're melee, or whether you're a combination of the two, the only thing that these 4 talisman are good for is being able to equip items that you really want to equip early that you can't equip, or if you're only at very low level where your stats that they would add to are already under 40. Once they get to the point of being at 40, if those are the ones that you're getting additional bonus by equipping the talisman, just don't do it. It's just not worth it. You're going to be taking a lot more damage, and your bonus that you're going to be getting is very minimal. So for all our new players that do need this to equip for something, it is located right here. Next up we have the Roar Medallion, which enhances roar and breath attacks. So this enhances the damage of the Beast Roar Asher War by 15%. It also applies to attacks made after using the War Cry. It is definitely worth noting at the moment it does not seem to work on Dragon Breath spells, named or unnamed. Now this may be changed in the very near future because you would think that it would work on that from how it reads, so they might change that. But you probably want to test using a Dragon Breath with it on and off so you can see for yourself. Now this is located in the Limgrave tunnels by beating the boss. So when you go down the first elevator, look very carefully for a platform to jump onto. You need to jump onto that platform and then follow the path and go down another elevator in order to reach the boss. So from the starting grace, when you get to the first elevator, when it's going down, look for another platform while it's going down to jump to. You need to jump to that platform, follow the path to get to the boss. Kill the boss and get the talisman. Next up we have the Sacred Scorpion Charm. This raises holy attack but lowers damage negation. It raises your holy weapon damage or any holy damage by about 12%. This can be located in the Smoldering Church by defeating the NPC that spawns in when you reach the church. Next up we have the Shab Riri Woe. Yes, that's how you say that, I think. It constantly attracts enemy aggression. It is worth noting this is only good for co-op. You cannot attract aggression on enemies that normally would not aggro to you in solo play. This is located in the Frenzied Flame Village. To reach this village, go from the Grand Lift to Deacon on this side and just go south. The item is located right here in the village. Next up, we have one of the best talismans in the game, which easily can be missed. This is the Spelldrake Talisman +2. Vastly boost magical damage negation. Magic is one of the hardest things to block against. This is located in the hidden path to the Haligdrake tree, and yes, it's on a hidden path. So once you reach this octagon area, you're going to drop down. Then you will walk towards this right here. Generally, there will be all types of messages left by other players so you know exactly the right path to take. Next, we will jump down over here. After dispensing with the enemies, you'll make your way through here. By the way, we have, I believe that is the boss fight for one of the hidden death roots. Come up this elevator. and collect the talisman. Next, we have the Stargazer Heirloom. This raises intelligence by 5. So in order to get this, you need to follow Ranni's quest, which I do have linked in the description. So what you're going to have to do is, once you get the inverted item that she gives you, you'll come to the study hall, you'll walk up to the altar, you'll invert the study hall, you'll follow the path all the way around till you drop down and you go through some doors. You'll have to kill a Godskin boss. You'll go through the tower, you'll go all the way up to the tower, to the top, and you will be given another key item to fight a legendary dragon and the Stargazer Heirloom. Next up, we have the Starscourage Heirloom, which raises strength by +5. This can be located by going into Fort Gale and making your way to the near top. Fort Gale can be simply located by coming from the Smoldering Church and going down. You're going to make your way to this area right here and grab the chest to get the talisman. Next up, we have one of the best talismans in the game, one of my personal favorites, the Taker's Cameo. This restores HP upon defeating enemies. You can get from 100 to 200 plus HP depending on how much HP you have back per kill. So it really helps mitigate how many health potions you have to carry and when you have to use them. This can be got by doing the Volcano Manor quest line. Upon defeating the third NPC, you will be granted the Taker's Cameo. Now, I don't have a guide up just yet, or there might be one already in the description, but if there's not one in the description just yet with the other quest lines, I will have one very soon. This is very easy to get. It's the starting quest line. All you have to do is just keep talking to her, keep defeating the NPCs, and once you defeat the third one, you will get the reward. Next up, we have the Twinblade Talisman. This enhances final hit of chain attacks. This can be got by going to the Castle Morn lift, or Castle Morn Castle actually, making your way through the castle to basically the end where you'll get the behind the castle checkpoint. All you're going to do is just drop down right here. And you see that ladder all the way in the north? Just make your way to the ladder, climb all the way up, and there is a chest as you go around up there. Next up, we have the Two Fingers Heirloom, which raises your faith by 5. This can be located in the Purified Runes in the lake area. Just go to the center of the runes like always and find the staircase down. In order to get to this section of the map, what you want to do is just come up right here in the lake. Next up, we have the Viridian Amber Medallion +2, which vastly raises maximum stamina by over 15%. This can be got by going to the Haligdrake Town Plaza. You're going to start off by jumping. This is where the snails are. You can take that snail out with magic or a ranged bow, turn around, jump down the roof, take down that one, run over here, take down that one. Or you could simply run and get the talisman. So the talisman is in this chest right here. Next up, we have the Winged Sword Insignia. This raises attack power with successive attacks. It's really good for fast swinging weapons. First tier is around 3%, second tier 8%, third tier 10%, fourth tier 14%. So you can get up to like 14%, maybe even a little bit more with a really fast swinging weapon. If you're not swinging fast enough, then you can go down in a tier for your bonus, but this is got by beating the boss of the Stillwater Cave. This is on the lake side, so you're just going to come in the lake and go all the way to the end till you get to Stillwater Cave and beat the boss. Next up, we have another of the best talismans in the game, the Erdtree's Favor +2, which vastly raises your maximum HP, stamina, and equip load. You will get 4% bonus HP, 9.5% bonus stamina, and 8% bonus equip load. Overall, an insanely good talisman. To get to this, you need to have the city turn to ash, the capital. So once you get to this point, you're going to come to the Forbidden Lands. You're going to take the path of turning around and going up the elevator. Then you will take the path of the Night. FYI, if you take the other path, then you can get a boss fight, and that's how you get 2 of the greater runes right here. But onto the talisman. So you take the elevator up, you take the path of having the knight on the horse, you go past him, half a dozen other enemies, and then you take an elevator down. That will lead you to this point right here. And if you look to my north, you will see that item on the log that is protruding out of the sand. That is what you want to get. Now, there are at least 4 different worm boss, mini boss is over here. I managed to kill 3 the last playthrough, and on the 4th one it got me, so there's at least 4 in the sand. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to not have 500,000 runes on you like I do right now. That's why I'm going to grab this when my runes are low. And you're going to go down the stairs and you're going to creep around this left wall. Creep, stealth, try not to aggro anyone. Once you get to the point of being over here, you'll have 2 that are out of the sand but not aggroed on you hopefully yet. Then you can make a mad dash, get the talisman, and try to make it back. If you still got runes on you, chances are though you're not going to survive. Next up, we have the Crimson Seed Talisman, which boosts HP regeneration from the Flask of the Crimson Tears. This will give you a 20% boost every time you use your flask. So this is located in a imp sealed room. You will need a key or 2 keys. I do forget which, so bring 2 keys. And you're going to come to the Sainted Hero's Grave. This is in the Atlas Plateau. In order to access this, you have to come from above and come down. Don't think there's any way to reach it from the lower end. But come to the Sainted Hero's Grave. It is guarded by a Black Knife Assassin, so you'll have to defeat him. Go inside, make your way to the Imp Room, and then you can get the talisman. Today I'm showing you how to get the talisman to do more damage on horseback. So the starting waypoint that you want to use is War Master's Shack. From this, you are going to go to this checkpoint right here, number 1. Then you're going to come up here, and you're going to come through here, and you're going to go to this checkpoint, number 4. Once you reach this checkpoint, number 4, you'll be able to pick up the talisman. If I could pick it up. Thank you. And there we go, the Lance Talisman, so you do more damage while you're on your horseback. And now I'm going to go kill an extremely hard boss on the horse. I hope that helps. Next up, we have the Ancestral Spirit's Horn. Restores FP upon defeating enemies. This can be acquired by turning in the Remembrance of the Regal Ancestor Spirit. Now, if you're not familiar with this area, you'll need to follow the Ranni's questline, which I do have linked in the description. You're going to light these 6 locations, the 6 statues, 1 or fortresses, whatever you want to call them, 3, 4, 5, 6. At each location, there is a flame, so I will leave this up for a couple seconds so you can pause it. After you've lit all the flames, you'll come over here, you'll hit Y next to the deer, and you will start the boss battle. You can then turn in the Remembrance of the boss for the Ancestral Spirit's Horn. Next up, we have the Graven Mask Talisman, which greatly raises the potency of sorceries, boosting sorcery damage by 8%. It does not conflict with the Graven School Talisman, allowing one to wear both for a total of 12% sorcery damage buff if you're wearing both. You can get this by going to the main academy gate. Then you're going to look away from where you enter the academy to the left, past a bunch of wolves. You're going to go down a hill and reach a shop. You'll buy the Fanged Imp Ashes. Once you have the Fanged Imp Ashes, you're going to come over here to this rise. You'll see 2 imp statues outside the rise. You'll call in your Fanged Imp Ashes. Then, once you call them in, you will get 1 kill on an imp. It doesn't matter if your ashes get the kill, you get the kill, your ashes die, and then you get the kill. That's all good. It will all unlock the rise. You'll be able to climb to the top and collect the talisman. Next up, we have the Godfrey Icon. This enhances charged spells and skills. It raises the charge attack power of sorceries, incantation, and skills. It can be got by beating the boss of the Golden Lineage Evergoal. You need 1 or 2 Stone Sword keys in order to start this battle. Find your way down anywhere into this ravine. This location works the exit. You can come down over here. Anywhere you can come down and reach right here. Defeat the boss, collect the talisman. Next up we have the Graven School Talisman, which raises potency of sorceries by 4%. It does not conflict with the Graven Mask Talisman, allowing one to wear both for a total of a 12% sorcery damage buff. In order to get this, you need to come to the Debate Parlor. From the Debate Parlor, we're going to head west. There's a hidden wall here, slash another hidden wall, or it's over here, somewhere over here. Now here is the common spell a lot of you know about, and if you don't, definitely go get that if you're playing Magic. What you might have missed though is over here you can jump down. Now I'm pretty sure I already collected this one on this playthrough, so I'm not sure if it's here. But in this room, I believe right here is the talisman. Next up we have the Stalwart Horn Charm +1, which vastly raises robustness. This can be found by going to the concentrated snowfield, and right by the Annex Tunnel, you'll come over here and collect the talisman. It's right by one singing dude. You can hear him singing, so you know to come over here. Pretty easy to find. Next up, we have another must-have talisman, the Dragoncrest Great Shield Talisman. This one enormously boosts physical damage negation, the highest level of physical damage negation you can get. We're going to start off at the Drainage Channel checkpoint. Now when you drop down, you're going to drop down right here, but there's going to be a couple enemies that can attack you. I messed up and just sat there doing too much commentary and got killed, so I'm going to clear them out. So once you drop down and you clear out the enemies with ranged attacks, or if you're melee and you rush in and blocking, take them out, whatever, then you can collect the talisman right here. Next up, I'm showing you how to get Marika's Source Seal. This greatly raises attributes but also increases damage taken. It increases Mind, Intelligence, Faith, and Arcane by 5. It decreases all damage negation by 10. We're going to be starting at the F-Fill Inner Wall checkpoint. Now, I think this is only good if you don't have Mind, Intelligence, and Faith at already 35 plus. Like at least 2 out of the 3 are not 35 plus. Once you get to the 40 plus, you're not gaining that much for taking the 10%. I mean, it's going to be up to you. Arcane really isn't needed. I don't think there's any way to really make use of Arcane, having high Arcane. There's also several teleporting hard enemies over here. First time I did this, and just FYI, there's 3 crystal dudes in there. Don't want to go in there unless you're good to go in there, or you're just running in to get the items. But on my first playthrough, this section was so hard that I just ran to the Stone Key Gate, opened it up, and died. And then I ran back again and got my souls and got the item. And the item talisman is right here. You will need 2 stone keys in order to open this. Next up, we have a very well hidden talisman, the Crucible Feather Talisman, which is actually good. It improves dodge rolling but increases damage taken, but it only increases the damage taken between 8 to 9%, so it's not that bad for more effective dodge rolling. So you're going to come this way and you're going to make your way to the hero's grave. Once you get to the point of right here. By the way, this is the safe spot. As you can see, I'm obviously just chilling. And you have the third one over there. What you're going to do is you're going to wait for this to go up. We're going to come to this dead body, and we're going to drop down right on the body. Usually there's messages from other players telling you where to drop so you know where it's safe. Now what we actually want are the two parallel beams. So we need to drop down once more. Now because everybody doesn't have endurance like me, I could survive that fall from over there. I'll actually do it from the safer spot over here. See, we have another kind message telling us probably right here. Now from here we can safely drop down to this beam, and now we'll make our way across. So after you've climbed the ladder, you're going to go straight. Hold up right about here. After you make it into this tunnel, dispense of the skeletons and the Omen Lord over here, or Big Dude, and collect your talisman. Next up, we have another must-have rune, the Golden Scarab. This increases all runes by 20%. So all runes you get from killing enemies, bosses, you'll get 20% additional runes. Great for farming, and I'll link an insane farming guide that you can do as well. So to get here, go from the Dragon Burrows Fork, come down, and come to Celia Evergoal. We're going to be needing to beat the boss of the Abandoned Cave. I'm not going to be showing you all that, but I will show you how to get to the Abandoned Cave. So from the Evergoal, you're going to come over this way. See right here? Jump across here. Look across. And we'll jump from right here. Wait till the horse gets low. And there you go. Next up, I'm going to be showing you a very underrated talisman that's actually worth considering, especially if you're running other talismans that are giving you negative damage effects. Great for glass cannon builds. It's called the Ritual Shield Talisman. It raises defense when HP is at maximum. So what this does is when your HP is at maximum, any damage that you take for the first hit will be reduced by 30%. But let's say you're running two other talismans that are giving you like a total of negative 25% physical negation. Well, now it's reducing that by 30%, plus it's reducing the standard total by 30%. So you could have like 40% physical negation, like a negative, but with this talisman on, you'll only have a 2.5% negation. It actually is really nice for negating damage, because let's face it, that initial hit generally for most builds, unless you're taking something really minor and then you just don't care anyway, but when you're fighting the harder fights, every hit basically forces you to heal. So this is negating the damage by 30%, and if you're running a glass cannon build or negative other negative talismans, this raises your damage negation off the initial hit by even more, basically making the negative effects off the other talismans irrelevant. So this is gotten by going to the western capital, Grace, if your city is not already in Ash. And if it isn't Ash, then you're going to make your way to that same point, the western Grace. Then you're going to come past where the balls were and the golden tree. And here it is. Next up, we have the Perfumer's Talisman. This raises the potency of perfume items. This can be acquired by going to the perfume runes, which can be located by just coming up this way from one of these checkpoints. And you're going to come to this point, go down the stairs, open the chest, collect the talisman. Next up, we have the Magic Scorpion Charm, which raises magic attack but lowers damage negation. This can increase your magic attack by 12%. This can only be attained two ways, both you need to start Ranni's quest. So it can be obtained from talking to Sylvanas at Sylvanas's Rise, after obtaining the Fingerslayer Blade, but before giving the Fingerslayer Blade to Ranni the Witch. It also can be obtained by giving Sylvanas the Amber Starlight after Sylvanas tells you about his scheme. You can do either two ways. The easiest way is just to get the Fingerslayer Blade because you get that really quickly, and then just talk to Sylvanas and collect the charm. Our next talisman, the Blue Feathered Branchwood, raises defense when HP is low. This only activates under 20% health. It gives you a crazy damage negation when your health is under 20%. But is it enough? Is it going to save you from that next slice? If it's anything significant, no. But in any case, for all you collectionists out there, this is collected by going to the War Master Shack at night and making your way over here and defeating a Death Bird. Defeating the Death Bird will give you the Blue Feathered Branch Sword Talisman. Next up, we have the Prince of Death's Cyst. This greatly raises vitality. This can be located in the Deep Root Depths. So you're going to go northeast from the Grace, behind the waterfall right here, kill a bear. The bear will drop the Prince of Death's Cyst. Now, for everybody who doesn't know how to get to the Deep Depths, I do have Ranni's guide, but it's just the quest line, and this is just optional stuff. So you're going to go from the Ancestral Woods, you're going to go all the way up, you're going to make your way to the Aqueduct facing cliffs, you're going to proceed forward, you're going to kill two gargoyles, you're going to go to the Great Water Basin, you're going to jump in a coffin. That will take you over to here. Then you'll make your way over across all the tree branches to the Deep Roof Depths. And if you don't know how to get to the Ancient Woods, then you're just going to have to Google that. Next up, we have another pretty cool talisman when you're trying to hunt down those rare drops. And that is Silver Scarab, raises item discovery by 75. Let's just face it, nobody has points in Arcane. So, 75% or 75 extra discovery is basically like doubling, or at least adding like 50% to everybody's Arcane. Pretty damn significant. So the way that we get this is we go to the hidden path of the Haligdrake. So if you're not already familiar with the hidden path, there's also a boss fight in here that drops one of the 9 death roots if you're going for all the death roots. There is another talisman I think I already showed you, or there's something else over here. I forget exactly everything that's here. But first you're just going to drop down here. Oh wow, no messages this time. Usually this place is loaded with messages. Next you'll melee this wall because it's an invisible wall. And then you'll come over here and you'll grab the talisman. Next up we have the Great Shield Talisman, which boosts guarding ability. Very nice when you're fighting somebody that's breaking your stamina, but only slightly. This is located near the Lux Runes in this path right here. You can get there from the Old Atlas Tunnel. Find a spot to drop down over here and just come down. And in this town there are 2 black carriages. One has a troll sword, the other has the Great Shield Talisman. Next up we have 2 talismans, Warrior Jar Shard, which boosts the attack power skills by 10%, and the Shard of Alexander, which boosts the attack power of skills by 15%. So you start the jar quest over here by Saint's Bridge. You can just Google Iron Fist Alexander quest. I do not have a quest video up for the Iron Fist Alexander quest line at the moment. It is a very simple quest. If you decide to kill him right here, you can get the 10%. If you do his entire quest line, you will get both the 10% and the 15% upon completing it. It is a short quest line. Next up, we have the Red Feathered Branchwood. This raises attack power when HP is low, which should be under 20%. I haven't really did too much testing with this at all. In order to get it, you have to make the game night so you can fight a death bird right at this location right here. You can travel anywhere as long as the game is night. You can come over here, fight the death bird, kill the death bird, get the talisman. Next up, we have the Spear Talisman, which enhances counterattacks unique to thrusting weapons. It enhances damage by 13%. This can be got by going to Lakeside Crystal Cave, which is accessed from the lake. It is in a chest near where you have this dude right here. He really can't be missed. And just open the chest, collect the talisman. Next, we have the Dagger Talisman, which enhances critical hits by 15%. In order to get this, I'm going to take the Temple of Eagle Grace by the Volcano Manor. You can access this through the Volcano questline. I think you can just do it even if you didn't do the Volcano questline. You can get over here. You're going to have to Google that if you don't already know. Might be a couple days before I get the Volcano Manor link up for you. I am working on a couple of things right now. I actually thought I had the katana out, but that worked. You can just run that. You don't actually have to jump. This door you'll have to open. You can just hit Y. I just have opened it already. A little distraction for him. Yeah, I was off on the timing on that. By the way, there are some ashes over there. I know everybody just uses the Mimic anyway, but there's the Magna Man or something, Magna Soldier over there. Right here, just walk into the wall. And we'll come up to the left and to the left again. Kill this dude. I missed. And if you walk around this ledge, it's right on this dead body. Next up, we have the Concealing Veil. Conceals the wearer while crouching away from foes. Yes, this does not work in PvP. It's only for PvE. This can be got by beating the boss of the Sage's Cage. Now, there is a hidden boss in this cave right to the left of where the boss fight is. The boss that you want to beat for this talisman is the Black Knife Assassin. If you want to fight the hidden boss, then look when you first jump down towards the boss door, then look for the messages and just melee 2 doors, hidden walls, and you'll fight a hidden boss fight. But to get to here, you're going to carefully come down the mountain. Anywhere over here, you can carefully come down the mountain and then make your way to the cave. Next up, we have the Old Lord's Talisman. This extends spell effect duration by 30%. It can be acquired by going to the Beside the Great Bridge race and going away from the boss door. There are 2 enemies here that can aggro. They probably will be on my ass. Forgot to jump. Well, actually, I kind of jumped right there. Anyway, there's also an NPC, depending on what you did in the Volcano quest, that can spawn in right about here. But in the chest, dead ahead, there is an ambush with 3 enemies and the talisman. Next up, we have a pretty good talisman if you can stay at max health a lot of the time. The Ritual Sword Talisman. It boosts attack power from all sources by 10% when at full health. This can be acquired by going to Lux Runes, defeating the boss here, and then grabbing the chest in the runes. This can be got simply by going to this side of the Grand Lift of Dictus and coming straight up. Next up, we have one that probably nobody wants. It's Daedakar's Woe. This increases damage taken. If you just want to make the game harder on yourself, you might as well just equip that talisman and no others. Anyway, if you do want it, you can complete RYA's questline. That's RYA questline. You'll have to Google that because I do not have that up, and I'm not sure at the moment if I'm even doing that questline. But that is how you get that talisman. Lastly, we have the 2 that can be bought from the Twin Maiden Husks. The Furled Fingered Trick Mirror take on the appearance of the Host of Fingers, and we have the Host Trick Mirror take on the appearance of a Cooperator. And that is all legendary, unique, great talismans. Only talismans not included are 0 or +1 variants. If there were higher variants that were better, I only included the best and the unique talismans. I hope that helps.